Hey, Alec here. Soulful Guitar Lessons. Welcome. Home studio. We got some guitars being, featured in the background. And welcome. Today I want to share with you how I can listen to a song and then determine what chords or notes are being played. This is called ear training. And this is something that can be taught. I 100% firmly believe this. So when I was younger, I listened to this band called Third Eye Blind, which is, if you were around in the 90s, you'd recognize this song, wish you would step back from that, they wish my, silly shit like that. But anyways, I could not for the life of me hear the chords. Like some of the chords they were using would be just G, something like that. And I had no freaking clue what they were playing, even though they were simple chords. So all this to say is I learned this skill. And it takes time, so I don't want you guys to be discouraged. I don't want you to be discouraged by the fact that it might take a second or, oh man, I'm not hearing it. Like, it'll come. But here are some tips that I have re-engineered so that it's like, okay, I can, this is what I would tell a younger version of myself. Like, okay, if you're ear training, this is how I would approach it, Say you are playing a progression, right? And you just want to identify one chord. In general, I like to think like big picture. So if you know about the Nashville number system, that is super useful. If you don't know it, I have some videos on it, so I'll post it in the description box. But yeah, if that stuff is really useful. But say you don't know anything about that. Say I'm just playing like this chord, But say it's on a record, right? So I can't hear what's going on. Say it's just happening and I can't see it. Well, okay, so how do I approach it? When I hear it, I'm thinking three things. I'm thinking, one, what's the lowest note? And I'm thinking, so if I heard it, I'd be like, okay, I'm listening for this. And then what's the highest note? So I'm like trying to approximate it. So that's the low note, that's the high note. And then I try to fill in kind of like a sandwich method, like I have my low bun, my top bun, and then I fill it in. Is it a major chord? Is it a minor chord? Is it a dominant chord? Like, what is it? Is it a weird chord I never heard of, But in general, that's what I like to do. And this stuff isn't random. Usually it follows some type of pattern. That's why I encourage people to learn theory, is that you don't have to every time you learn a song be like, oh, you kind of there's framework to work within, and that's usually the Nashville number system, or just knowing a little bit about theory can really save you a lot of time and effort in the long run. There's a startup kind of cost where you got to learn, memorize a couple things, but I'm gonna dive deeper into that in future lessons. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of how I'm approaching learning songs by ear, just learning a chord. And eventually this stuff, being able to hear a chord and then play it back gave me I don't know, kind of changed the way I interact with music, and I hope it can do the same for you. So stick with it. That'd be my advice, is don't get dissuaded, don't get discouraged, just keep going. You have no idea how many gigs I've fucked up, how many how many opportunities I've blown. But I think the name of the game is just keep going, keep going. And if you miss a chord, so what, But this kind of stuff, that's why I post I've been posting some ear trainings on my YouTube, just to get people used to this idea of hearing something and then playing it. I think while YouTube is a wonderful, wonderful platform for creators, I think the downside of it is that in the olden days, folks used to listen to records, and there was no visual representation. And as a result, people would just listen and try to figure it out by ear, right? And that would be great for two reasons. One, your ear would be good, but also you wouldn't be able to get it 100%, which is good and bad. Like, it's cool because, okay, here's a story. Like, Merle Travis, who was a famous, dude that used to play guitar, and he played with his thumb and first finger, and he'd play and he'd do his thing. And Chet Atkins, a very awesome, amazing songwriter, guitar player, producer, he heard Merle Travis, and he only heard it on the radio, right? So he thought Merle was playing with three fingers. Really, Merle was playing with two. No, I gotta get my story straight. So Chet Atkins started playing with three fingers. He developed his own style, is what I'm saying. And if it had been, like, if YouTube had existed then, he might not have developed his own style, because he was taking what he heard and, like, getting an approximation. It was like 85%, which can be good. And so all that to say is, be careful with, how much you're relying on the visual component of things versus hearing stuff. And this stuff takes time. Like I said, it takes time. Like, it's funny, like, sometimes I'll play a song, somebody will call me to do a gig, or, maybe we're just hanging out, and say we play a song. I think it was like we did a Ramblin' Man, Allman Brothers, or, Take It Easy, Eagles, or some old Tony song. And I was like, damn, I've been playing this shit wrong for so long, because I learned it when I was younger and I hadn't really revisited it. So, and then when I listen to the record now, I think obviously my ears have grown. And so it's wild. And it's okay. Like, some songs you're not going to get 100%, and that's totally okay. But keep going and try this technique with, like, the hamburger method of trying to learn songs like that. I think, or even just trying to identify single chords. Like, if you could think of a song that maybe has like three chords, maybe like, I don't know, something that comes to mind, Allman Brothers, Blue Sky, or some Neil Young song, or, Use Me by Bill Withers. If you don't know it, you could try to learn it by ear, and you can follow what the bass is doing, with the low part, and that usually 90% of the time, that's an indication of what the root is. So if the bass is going, you can pretty much guarantee, not always, but you can bet that the chords might be E, G, A. Now, whether they're major, minor, or dominant, that's for you to decide. But that's kind of like where I'm pushing you towards, like, listen to the bass play, then listen to the top note. Is the top note, or is it, that would indicate if it's major or minor. But anyways, yeah, post in the comments, and let me know if you have any questions. This stuff takes time. Let me know if this technique helps you at all, especially because I'm going to be posting more ear training stuff, and I want you to use this technique. So let me know if it's useful to you, or if you have other techniques that you use that I might not be aware of. But this has helped me a lot, and I hope it helps you. So, all right, I'm signing off here. I'll see you soon. Take care.